Hey,
Yeah, what is that?
Yowie, like your Bigfoot.
Oh. So did they... Whoa.
What if the carvings hidden deep in North American caves were more mysterious and scarier than anything we've ever imagined?
So this is
that looks like the bloody devil
the
eating
idea
someone
of
there.
something that... So these... And there's more... Wow, there's more than one of these.
Yeah.
What if ancient carvings could tell stories no book ever could? Who created these carvings? What do they mean? And why were they hidden away for so long? Let's find out. 1. Tennessee's oldest cave art. In Tennessee, deep in a cave on the Cumberland Plateau, something incredible was recently uncovered. It's the oldest cave art in North America, dating back about 6,000 years. To put that into perspective, these carvings were made long before the pyramids in Egypt were built, way before most civilizations we know of even existed. Hidden in this dark cave are hundreds of images, some carved, some painted, that give us a glimpse into a world long gone, yet somehow still connected to ours. So, what exactly did they find? Well, there are pictures of animals that seem to leap off the stone, almost frozen in time. There are human figures too, but some of them are strange, blending human and animal features, which might show how deeply connected these ancient people were to nature. And then, there are the symbols, abstract shapes that seem random at first glance, but likely hold deep spiritual meaning. Red pigment, often linked with life and birth, contrasts with black markings, possibly representing death or the afterlife. It's like they were showing us the delicate balance between life and death, all scratched into the cave walls, whispering stories from a time long before writing was even invented. What's even more fascinating is what this art says about how these ancient people saw the world. The carvings align with the Archaic period, which spanned from around 10,000 to 1000 BC. But this art tells us something different. It shows that sophisticated artistic practices existed far earlier than we ever imagined. And this discovery isn't just a one-time thing. Archaeologists have since found more caves, more art, and even more questions. So, what were these people trying to tell us? Were these just simple drawings? Or could they have had a much deeper, ritualistic purpose? The more we uncover, the clearer it becomes. This isn't just art. It's a window into the spiritual and cultural beliefs of a forgotten world. But as exciting as this discovery is, there's a race against time to preserve it. These delicate sites are fragile, and modern-day threats like unauthorized visitors and graffiti put them at risk. This discovery isn't just a glimpse into prehistoric life. It's a haunting reminder of how fragile our connection to the past is. But there's more to come, and what we'll find next is even more eerie. 2. The Secrets of Alabama's 19th Unnamed Cave. As we were wrapping our heads around the incredible discovery in Tennessee, another cave stole the spotlight, this time in Alabama. Known only as the 19th Unnamed Cave, it holds something even more mysterious. Thousands of square feet of ancient artwork, including the largest known cave art in North America. Discovered back in 1998, the cave's location is kept secret to protect it from vandalism, and for good reason. What's inside is mesmerizing. More than 4,300 square feet of mud glyphs, patterns, abstract shapes, and life-sized animal images cover the walls. One of the most striking images is an 11-foot-long diamondback rattlesnake. Can you imagine creating something that huge in near darkness, where the ceiling was too low to even see the whole thing at once? This wasn't just art. It was precise, intentional, and deeply significant to the people who created it. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Thanks to advanced 3D photogrammetry, researchers have been able to document the cave's artwork like never before. Thousands of high-resolution photos revealed images hidden in plain sight, including life-sized human figures wearing detailed clothing. Were these real people, or perhaps spirits from another world? These drawings date back to between 660 and 949 CE, during the woodland period when Native American societies were shifting from nomadic hunting and gathering to more settled farming communities. But we still don't know exactly what these giant drawings mean. They don't match any known oral histories, and their purpose remains a mystery. However, many believe these could be representations of spirits from the underworld, as caves often held spiritual significance in indigenous cultures, seen as portals to other realms. Just like the Tennessee carvings, this discovery in Alabama challenges everything we thought we knew about early Native American societies. What if these drawings weren't just artistic expressions, but something more spiritual, maybe even warnings? As we continue to study them, it's becoming harder to think of these as the simple work of primitive hands. They feel like echoes from a distant, untold past. But the journey isn't over yet. Another discovery is waiting out there, and it might just be the most mind-boggling one yet. 3. Horseshoe Canyon's Great Gallery. In Utah, deep inside Horseshoe Canyon, there's an ancient site that leaves us with more questions than answers: the Great Gallery. Stretching across 200 feet of canyon wall, this eerie artwork features strange figures, some towering up to 7 feet tall. At first glance, they seem like human forms, but look a little closer, and you'll notice they're far from ordinary. These beings have no limbs, making them feel more supernatural than humans. Many experts think they might represent spiritual figures, maybe shamans or beings from another realm. The archaic people created this artwork over 7,000 years ago using red ochre, a natural pigment from hematite. But these aren't just simple drawings, they're full of deep meaning. The figures are decorated with intricate patterns, possibly symbolizing people of great spiritual or cultural importance. Could they be showing us ancient rituals or telling stories of powerful beings that once roamed the earth? The Great Gallery's meaning is still debated. Some think it was used in hunting rituals, while others believe it shows mythological figures or spiritual journeys. The headdresses on many of the figures suggest they had power and status, maybe even fearsome reputations. Dating this artwork is tricky. Some parts might have been created between 400 and 1100 AD, but some studies suggest they could be much older. A 2014 study using advanced dating methods hinted that some images could be up to 2,000 years old. But many details are still lost to time, leaving us to wonder what these figures were really for. What makes this site even more mysterious is how remote it is. To reach the Great Gallery, you have to hike about 6.5 miles round trip, descending 750 feet into the canyon. It's not an easy journey, but those who make it are rewarded with a haunting glimpse into the ancient world. The isolation of the site has helped protect it from vandalism, leaving these ancient spirits undisturbed. But the big question remains: were these figures meant to protect or to warn? This silent power in the Great Gallery leads us to our next incredible discovery, a place where the hands of ancient people still seem to reach out to us from the shadows. 4. The Cave of Hands. Now we move from the deserts of Utah to the rugged wilderness of Argentina, where we find the Cave of Hands, known as Cueva de las Manos. Hidden in the province of Santa Cruz, this remote cave is filled with over 800 handprints left by people as far back as 7300 BC. But these aren't just handprints, they're ancient echoes, frozen in time, left by people whose stories we can only imagine. What's strange is that most of the prints are of left hands. Why? The artists probably used their right hands to blow pigment through tubes made from bone, spraying a fine mist to create the hand stencils. The pigments, red, yellow, white, and black, came from natural minerals, helping these prints survive for thousands of years. But it's not just the number of handprints that raises questions. One of the prints even has 6 fingers, suggesting either a genetic oddity or something more symbolic. Besides the hands, the cave walls are decorated with images of animals like guanacos, rheas, and wild cats. There are also hunting scenes, showing people using bolas, primitive weapons used to capture prey. These images don't just show us daily life, they reveal a deep connection to the natural and spiritual worlds. The Cave of Hands features 3 types of artwork: hand stencils, realistic images of animals and people, and abstract geometric designs. This variety suggests that different cultures over thousands of years left their mark on the cave. It's like each generation added to a growing story, a silent conversation carved into the stone. Argentine archaeologist Carlos J. Graddon first began studying the cave in the 1960s, and since then, our understanding of its importance has grown. The Cave of Hands is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site, ensuring its preservation for future generations. Visitors who make the long journey down rough roads to this remote spot are treated to a rare glimpse into the lives of ancient hunter-gatherers. As we leave behind the ghostly handprints of the past, we step into yet another hidden world, where nature's creativity takes center stage, and the wonders found underground are like nothing you've ever seen. 5. Luray Caverns. In the heart of Virginia's Shenandoah Valley, a group of locals stumbled upon something incredible back in 1878. Luray Caverns. These caverns are more than just a natural wonder. They feel like a grand underground cathedral, filled with towering stalactites, drapery-like formations, and shimmering pools that reflect the beauty around them. One of the most unique things about Luray Caverns is the great stalagpipe organ. Imagine this: stalactites, formed over millions of years, are tapped to create musical notes. It's the largest natural instrument in the world, covering 3 acres of the cave. Built in the 1950s by Leland W. Sprinkle, this organ isn't just a gimmick, it's a blend of science and art, with each note echoing beautifully through the chambers like the earth itself is playing a melody. But the wonders of Luray Caverns don't stop there. As you wander deeper, you'll come across Dream Lake and Silver Sea, 2 pools of water that mirror the limestone formations above so perfectly they seem bottomless. The temperature inside stays a cool 54 degrees Fahrenheit all year, making it a refreshing escape. One of the most striking features is the Saracen's Tent, a formation that looks so much like draped fabric that you'd think it was handmade, but it's entirely natural. And then there's the Washington Column, the first formation discovered when Andrew Campbell and his friends ventured into the caverns by candlelight, exploring the unknown. Luray Caverns also holds some mysteries. In a section called Skeleton's Gorge, bone fragments were found encased in calcite. Among them was the skeleton of a young girl, believed to be around 500 years old. Her story remains a mystery, a haunting reminder of the people who may have wandered through these caves long ago. Today, Luray Caverns are well preserved and illuminated, allowing visitors to explore the natural beauty up close. From the flowing formations to massive columns that seem to hold up the earth, it feels like stepping into another world. Just when you think you've seen it all, something even more incredible emerges from beneath the surface. And this time, we're not talking about the Earth's underground marvels, but something carved directly into the heart of towering mountains. 6. Carlsbad Caverns. Hidden beneath the rugged Guadalupe Mountains in New Mexico is Carlsbad Caverns National Park, a network of over 119 caves that feels like an underground world of its own. Discovered in 1898 by a young cowboy named Jim White, this cave system is a masterpiece of nature's design. The Big Room is its crown jewel, an enormous chamber stretching nearly 4,000 feet long and soaring 255 feet high. Walking through it feels like stepping into a stone cathedral. The story of Carlsbad Caverns began about 250 million years ago, when the area was underwater. As the sea evaporated, it left behind the Capitan Reef, and over millions of years, acidic groundwater carved out the massive chambers we see today. The formations are incredible. Stalactites and stalagmites stretch from floor to ceiling, creating a landscape frozen in time. There's even a bottomless pit and a strange formation called the Witch's Finger. At dusk, Carlsbad Caverns offers one of nature's most breathtaking sights, the flight of the Brazilian free-tailed bats. Thousands of bats swirl out of the cave's entrance in search of food, creating a mesmerizing spectacle that has fascinated visitors for over a century. But it's not just the bats and the incredible formations that make Carlsbad Caverns special. There's history here too. Near the entrance, Native American pictographs tell us that people have been visiting this cave for over 1,000 years. In the 19th century, the cave was mined for bat guano, and Jim White first explored the cave by lowering himself 170 feet into the darkness in a bucket used for collecting guano, lighting his way with a simple kerosene lantern. Today, visitors can walk through areas that were once only reachable by the bravest explorers. The Big Room alone is 2,000 feet long and features formations like the Giant Dome, a 62-foot-tall stalagmite, and the bottomless pit, which drops 700 feet into the earth. But there's even more to discover just beyond Carlsbad Caverns. Nearby, Slaughter Canyon Cave is home to the Monarch, one of the tallest cave columns in the world at 89 feet. Lechugilla Cave, discovered in 1984, is the fifth longest cave in the world, with over 100 miles of explored passages. Its unique underwater formations make it a place of fascination for scientists and adventurers alike. Standing in Carlsbad Caverns, surrounded by the silent beauty of nature's creations, it's impossible not to feel a deep connection to the forces that shaped this world. And even after all these years, the caverns continue to reveal new mysteries, drawing us deeper into the unknown. But even the vastness of Carlsbad Caverns can't compare to the awe of an ancient stronghold, carved right into the mountainside, where history and architecture merge with nature to create something truly extraordinary. 7. Vadzia Cave City. Tucked away in the cliffs of Georgia's Lesser Caucasus Mountains along the Mtkvari River sits one of the most amazing cave cities ever built, Vadzia. This incredible fortress was carved right into the rock during the 12th century and shows just how smart and tough people can be. From the outside, the holes in the cliffs hint at the secrets hidden inside, but they don't even come close to revealing what was once a bustling underground city. At its height, Vadzia had 13 levels of tunnels, rooms, and halls, and could hold up to 50,000 people. It wasn't just a small settlement. It had everything you'd expect from a real city: banquet halls, stables, libraries, bakeries, wine cellars, and even pools for bathing. One of the most impressive things was its irrigation system, which brought water to the city and fed its gardens, helping the people survive. Vardzia's story starts with King Georgi III, who planned the city as a military base to protect against constant threats of invasion. But when he died in 1184, his daughter, Queen Tamar, took over. She transformed Vardzia into a fortified monastery and cultural center. Queen Tamar, also known as Tamar the Great, ruled during one of Georgia's most successful periods, and her impact can still be seen today. A fresco in the city's main church shows her standing beside her father, an unusual and powerful tribute to one of Georgia's most famous leaders. Vardzia wasn't just about defense and religion, though. It became a cultural hub where art and literature flourished. One of Georgia's greatest poets, Shota Rustaveli, wrote his famous epic, The Knight in the Panther's Skin, during this time. His unrequited love for Queen Tamar is still legendary, and you can find streets and squares named after him across the country. But like many ancient places, Vardzia's glory didn't last forever. In 1283, a massive earthquake struck, destroying over 70% of the city and exposing its hidden entrances. With its natural defenses gone, Vardzia became vulnerable, and a Persian invasion in the 1500s pushed the city further into decline. Most of the population left, and only a few monks stayed behind to care for the ruins. And just as the echoes of Vardzia's past fade, we head west to explore a simpler but equally extraordinary cave. This one, though not filled with ancient kings or forgotten civilizations, has drawn millions for a very different reason. 8. Grotto of Massabielle. In the quiet town of Lourdes, nestled in the Pyrenees Mountains, there's a small, unassuming cave called the Grotto of Massabielle. At first glance, it might not look like much, but it's become one of the most significant religious sites in modern history. It was here, in 1858, that a 14-year-old girl named Bernadette Suberus experienced something that would change her life and the world forever. Bernadette, the daughter of a poor miller, claimed to have seen the Virgin Mary appear to her in the cave. According to Bernadette, the figure spoke to her and asked her to dig into the earth. When she did, she uncovered a spring. Word spread quickly that the water from this spring had healing powers, and soon people started flocking to the cave, hoping to be cured of their ailments. At first, many were skeptical. The local church questioned Bernadette, trying to catch her in a lie, but her story stayed the same, and over time, it became impossible to ignore the growing number of believers. By 1862, the Catholic Church officially recognized the visions, and the grotto was developed to handle the huge crowds of people coming for healing. Today, millions of people visit the Grotto of Massabielle every year. Despite its humble origins, Lourdes has become one of the most visited pilgrimage sites in the world. The story of Bernadette has been told countless times in books and movies, and the healing waters continue to attract pilgrims from all over, hoping for a miracle. Though the grotto is now more structured and organized, with modern railings and careful management, the sense of wonder remains. It's a place where faith and hope come together, and for many, it's a symbol of the power of belief. But while Lourdes is known for its healing waters, our next stop takes us to a different kind of cave, where nature's mysteries leave visitors breathless. 9. Sun Doong Cave. Deep in the jungles of Phong Nha Bang National Park in Vietnam lies a cave so huge that it's the largest known cave on Earth. This is Son Doong, a place so big it has its rainforest, river, and even its weather system inside. But what makes Son Doong even more fascinating is how it was discovered, a story as incredible as the cave itself. The entrance to this underground world was first found by a local man, Ho Khan, in 1991 while he was looking for agar wood. At the time, the loud sound of rushing water and strong winds blowing from the cave scared him off, and he didn't go in. It wasn't until almost 20 years later, in 2009, that Khan rediscovered the cave and led a group of British carvers to explore it. What they found was beyond anything they had ever imagined. Sondung stretches nearly 9 kilometers long and is so big it could fit an entire block of skyscrapers from New York City inside. Some of the stalactites hanging from the ceiling are as tall as 80 meters. Inside the cave, there's a lush rainforest that has never been touched by the outside world. An underground river flows through the cave, and clouds form in the misty air, making the cave feel like a whole different world. Getting to Sondung isn't easy. It takes a tough 2-day trek through thick jungle, crossing rivers and camping along the way. And once inside the cave, the adventure continues. Visitors have to abseil down rocky cliffs, crawl through tight spaces, and swim across the underground river to reach the hidden chambers. But for those who are brave enough to explore it, the rewards are unlike anything else on Earth. Sondung isn't just a cave, it's a whole world in itself. Even though it's hard to reach, it's become a hotspot for thrill seekers and scientists from around the globe. The cave has also helped bring new life to the surrounding region of Quang Binh, which was once one of the poorest areas in Vietnam, by boosting tourism. But as we stand in awe of the immense size of Sondung, our journey now takes us from Vietnam's underground wonder to the ancient caves of Spain, where a different kind of discovery awaits, one that takes us back to the very origins of humanity. 10. Atapuerca Caves. In the rolling hills of northern Spain, near the town of Atapuerca, lies a cave system that has revealed some of the most important archaeological finds in history. The Atapuerca Caves are not just any caves. They hold the key to understanding the earliest humans in Europe, with a story that goes back almost 1,000,000 years. The discovery of this ancient site was a lucky accident. In the late 1800s, workers building a railway cut through the limestone hills and found fossils and artifacts from a long-lost world. But it wasn't until 1976, when a student found a human jawbone, that people realized just how important the caves were. What followed was one of the largest archaeological digs in history. One of the most famous spots in Atapuerca is the Cima de los Huesos, or Pit of Bones, deep within the cave system. Here, scientists found the remains of over 30 individuals who lived more than 350,000 years ago. These ancient humans, known as Homo heidelbergensis, are believed to be ancestors of the Neanderthals. Their bones give us a rare look into the lives and deaths of our distant ancestors. Every new find adds to our understanding of human evolution, helping us figure out how our species spread across the globe. What do you think these ancient artists were trying to communicate? And be sure to subscribe for more thrilling adventures into the hidden corners of history. Together, let's keep digging into the stories that have been waiting to be uncovered.